That's quite a broad question, actually, because, well, we could start with just simply saying, what is Europe? I mean, what do we mean by Europe? Is it the European Union or is it something else? But I think there are some general narratives, no matter if it's just the EU or, I don't know, if we add United Kingdom, for example, also, or the other non-EU member states, non-EU states in Europe. That is one, and I think the most important is that this is a growing, at least challenge, if not a threat. China's policy, China foreign policy, which is being driven out of China's internal policies and the Communist Party policies since Xi Jinping took power in 2012. So this is probably a general observation and a general narrative. But this narrative is being followed by actual real policies, especially in the European Union, that it is a challenge that we must take care of, that we must raise our capabilities to be able to defend ourselves from these challenges or even threats. And this is a one general thing, I believe. This, of course, connects to what I mentioned, that the growing assertiveness of China and the way how it coerced certain EU member states and how it uses its foreign policy as a tool to actually undermine some important notions of the international order, which are also based for the European Union. But there's also another one specific, which is the growing assumption or feeling or even a notion that the security aspect is becoming really important, especially after the Russian invasion on Ukraine and China's support for Russia. This is, I think, the observation that actually it's the first time when the security issues connected to China are becoming maybe not yet more important, but becoming important than the economic aspects as it was before. You know, the growing China-Russia relationship and how it affects European security, also directly, not only by hybrid threats. This is one of the important narratives right now, and I think this needs to be underlined. The war in Ukraine especially affected Poland's attitude towards China. It might not be as visible if you look at the official statements by Polish officials, the Minister of Foreign Affairs or the President himself, but it's generally, it is an observation growing that the security aspect is important, and that's I think especially for Poland and the countries of the NATO's eastern flank, and the idea that because of Russian invasion and because of Russian policy, the security is, you know, the countries like Poland feel that their security is in danger, and they do see China as a factor in this equation, as a supporter for Russia. And of course, the official line and statements are being done in a diplomatic way in order to encourage China to some extent to change its position. But I think the general feeling and understanding is that this kind of change will probably not occur in coming years. So we need to prepare in order to be able to secure our security, to take care of our security in spite of Russian threat, by preparing for kind of China's escalation in the Pacific, and how Europe in general, but also countries like Poland can respond to that in order to keep its crucial relationship with the United States present, the security relationship, because the whole notion of security is based on the guarantees under the NATO alliance and under the U.S. presence, U.S. military presence in the NATO eastern flank. So whatever will happen, and it might happen, the scenario is unfortunately maybe not most probable, but still real, that China will escalate this way or another in the Pacific, and this will, of course, bring U.S. attention and U.S. reaction. But we need to somehow, in cooperation with the U.S., within the European Union, to prepare ourselves for any change of U.S. Presence, military presence in Europe because of what's gonna happen in Indo-Pacific.